Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been following along for the videos in this playlist all day, all readathon, this is my wrap-up for the Dewey's readathon for October 2024. I'm awake. It is early afternoon on Sunday. So readathon is done. I have slept. I'm awake. I'm watching two squirrels out the window that each one is in a different tree, and there's a cat between the trees, and they're not happy about that. And the cat is happily asleep and is dreaming about squirrels. Every once in a while you see him twitch. It's really cute. So that's what you might hear in the background, chittery noises. That's the squirrels. They're really not happy with this cat, and he won't wake up and go somewhere else. Yeah. So, how was the readathon for everyone else? I had fun. It was very successful. I finished all the books I showed off as finished already. Plus, I'm almost done with The Beckoning Lady, or in this edition, The Estate of the Beckoning Lady. I have the two books that were going to be carryovers that are still not finished. I did not get to reading anything with eyeballs before bed this morning. I do have my kitty. We didn't show off a lot of our reading buddies this time. That's one thing that we didn't do that we usually do. So I didn't show off any fresh pictures of this guy. This is Maurice. He's squirmy. I'm getting down. He's like, no, you can't show me off on a camera. Yeah. So that's Maurice. He's the newest official member of our family. Yeah. So I have Maurice and Christopher that are a pair. And they both got fixed this week. So they're getting extra snuggles. They did very well. That was one of the distractions I had, leading into the readathon. Was the kitties were just freshly neutered, but that's fun. So I've got my TBR for the rest of the week. What we do at the end of Dewey's readathon is we have the cool down week. So for the entire week following the readathon, we're still kind of in post-readathon mode. So we're not really back to normal unless we have to be. We're still reading more than usual. I will put threads on Goodreads and on Discord for talking about what you're reading during the cool down week. I would do that on Facebook, but it's not formatted for that. So, Facebook, if you want to show off what you're reading for, cool down week, you usually just show your, picture of your TBR or what you're reading. It's less organized. Anyway, so we'll be doing cool down week from now through the end of next weekend, which will actually carry us into November. So that should be fun. We have Halloween coming up. So there will probably be some kind of unofficial Halloween-themed mini readathon going on over Halloween. Probably what I'm going to do, we have these kinds of things where someone just announces an impromptu readathon, and it's just totally unofficial, but using the same space. And I know there are other readathons that are going on specifically for Halloween, hosted by people on YouTube in particular and on Discord. So I'm going to look at who's doing those and provide some information on our sites for who's hosting some Halloween reading events. And then we'll just also have some chat spaces for people that are doing Halloween themed mini readathon for Halloween. So that way we can not be reinventing the wheel. I know there are some people that have been doing Halloween-themed readathons on Halloween every year for however many years, and they're good at it. So might as well enjoy an event that they already know what it looks like and it's already well put together. So that's going to be this week. I do have my TBR for the rest of the week. It does have a couple nonfiction in it, and on the 1st of November, I will be starting back into reading my NetGalley arcs with great seriousness. And I need to look at which ones I need to re-download and all that before then. Not all my TBR is going to be physical for next month. This month, most of my TBR has been physical. There's been some audiobooks and some library books I had to return, but I'll be back to having only like half of my books visible, because the rest will be on NetGalley for November. But yeah, so for the rest of the week, I'm going to finish this one. It was good, I just wasn't in the mood for it. That's the 31st of February by Julian Simmons, in which a dude's wife has died by falling down the stairs, going down to the cellar to get a bottle of wine. And it's a tragedy, and he's been unhappy ever since, but maybe it wasn't an accident after all, but we're in the room with them when this happens. So are we seeing the true events, or are we seeing the story of the events? We don't know yet. That's as far as I got. And now somebody is maybe harassing him by showing the date of his wife's death on his flippy calendar thing on his desk at work. Or maybe it's an accident, but something is putting that date on his desk when it's not the correct date. Anyway, so I have this one, which I showed off yesterday, The Shadow Murders by Josie Adler-Olsen, from the Department Q murder mystery series that I've been reading. Is it Iceland or Denmark? I used to remember where these are from. Denmark. So Danish police department. Now I have to remember which one was the Iceland one, because I know there was one that was Iceland. I've got Stalin's Englishman that I talked about yesterday. It's the non-fiction spy thriller. Joseph Cannon, The Accomplice, which is technically an ARC. It is an ARC printing, but I got it from a free shelf. So it's just one that, it's an ARC, therefore I can count it, right? Yeah. Under Dark Sky, Lori Radar Day. This is one that I got as a Goodreads giveaway. Stalin's Englishman I got as a Goodreads giveaway. Spice Box I was trying to read yesterday. Didn't get far enough into it to tell you what's going on. Hopefully we'll get a better restart on it today. Triple Chocolate Cheesecake Murder by Joanne Fluke. This one's one I got as a Goodreads giveaway. It is not an ARC or a galley. It's the ready-to-sell copy. But it was a Goodreads giveaway. Oh, the cat has woken up. Oh, my goodness. Nope, he's not all the way awake. He's going back to sleep. He's happily dreaming about the squirrels above his head. Dead Letters by Kate Dolan Leach. And this one is an ARC copy from Goodreads. We have a library book. Let's see, not that one. This one. Library book. Range by David Epstein. This one will be for later in the week when we hit November. Why Generalists Triumph in a Specialized World. This one I didn't want to return because it sounded interesting. Yeah. So, it hasn't been something I've been reading all month. I have Dancing at the Rascal Fair by Ivan Doig. This one's part of my Reading the D's project. I am hoping to switch over to reading like all the D's at our local branch library as my letter focus. It has been the A's for the last almost 10 years, and I'm getting tired of the A's. So, and why D? I just had my sister pick a letter. We were at the library, and I told her that she needed to pick a letter so that I'd be reading that letter. So she picked D. I have In the Distance by Hernan Diaz. When Captain Flint Was Still a Good Man by Nick Dubik. This one is not a D, but I finished the Sea of Tranquility yesterday, so I might start with this one today. The Lola Quartet by Emily St. John Mandel. This one is not one that I'm going to count for any readathons. Not that there's any readathons it counts for anyway right now. Because I already finished it one read through during one of last month's events. Alien Earths by Lisa Kaltenegger. That cover. So that, I believe, is the Pillars of Creation. The nebula that's in the Orion Nebula. But this, I believe, is the James Webb Space Telescope imagery. I think it is, because you can see the stars in places where it was just solid gas clouds. Because the Hubble telescope version of this image, you see solid pillars of cloud. And the James Webb telescope, which is an infrared, shows you the stuff going on inside the cloud, which makes it even cooler. And this being a book about looking for planets outside of our solar system, that's one of the things the James Webb telescope is really good at. So I'm betting that's a James Webb image. And then I have The Alpine Yeoman by Mary DeHeim. This one, I read Hocus Crocus earlier this month. And both of these are library books from the D's. That was actually the first author in the D's at our branch library. The cat is awake. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the cat outside is Fats Domino. He is a very round-looking brown tabby. And the squirrels are still one in each tree, chittering at him and flicking their tails kind of in unison. It's really cute. Anyway, so that's my TBR for the rest of the week. I am finishing up the State of the Beckoning Lady, or the Beckoning Lady, first. That's my current audiobook. And I do have more audiobooks lined up for the Allingham series. So if I want audiobooks, I have the audiobooks for these 4 books lined up. So they will also be going on probably this week. Mr. Campion's Farthing, Cargo of Eagles, The China Governess, and Tether's End. And there's also one more that I don't have in print that I have as audiobook. So there's 5 more Allinghams this week. And then if I really want to, if I get to it this week, I am going to be trying to finish up books that I started this year and didn't finish, so that I have as few carrying over into 2025 as possible. So I might go back to The Years of Rice and Salt by Kim Stanley Robinson. This one is historical fiction set in China so far. But Kim Stanley Robinson does a lot of sci-fi. I'm not sure I've ever read anything by them that was just solid historical fiction. So I'm curious. Yeah. So we'll see how many of those I finish. I will do updates for the end of October and TBR for beginning of November. And I will probably do a video talking about plans for the next readathon, even though officially we're not on YouTube. I'll still probably do an announcement video on YouTube for the next readathon for Dewey's. Once we have that date, no idea when that's going to be, but the date for the next Dewey's readathon will be sometime between the last weekend of March and the first weekend of May. So it will probably be in April. But if for some reason one of those outlier weekend dates works best, that's the extent of the range, basically. I could see going end of March, partly because there's such a long span between the October and the April readathons, and we still don't want to do a fourth readathon. We will do probably an unofficial read-along sort of thing that is like a readathon, but not official, for New Year's week, between Christmas and New Year's is kind of what I'm thinking. But it'll just be a week. It won't be a 24-hour straight thing. Because we really don't want to have to do 4 readathons a year. So since we're not doing an official one, it does mean that we have that long gap. So I could see it being end of March. I'm not so sure I would put it the beginning of May, because that's making it a little bit too close to the summer readathon or the July/August readathon, which is our reverse readathon. So yeah, right now my best guess is April, but we will not have a calendar date for the next readathon until at least mid-November, because I need to talk with everybody, see if we have enough admins that are on board, see if we need to recruit any new admins and for what, and then figure out what dates everybody can't do and go from there. And even with all that, we end up with quite a few events where by the actual date of the event, everyone who said they could do it has commitments. So we're going to try and have enough admins that even if 1 or 2 people can't do it, we have enough people that it's easy to run. That's a lovely goal. So we'll see how that goes. Expect a date announcement for the next event soon. I'm trying to stay out of the glare so that I don't turn into a wash of white. Oh, and the squirrel is venturing lower. And the cat's awake. This could be fun. Alright, well, I'm going to get back to watching my squirrels and cat adventure and let this video upload, because it's going to take forever. I'm going to get back to my reading. Hopefully you guys had a great readathon, and I will see you guys somewhere in the bookish online world, BookTube or elsewhere. If you are on BookTube and doing Dewey's at the same time, let me know, because I know there are a couple people that do updates on YouTube, but I've only seen 1 or 2. And my guess is there are more that I just have not been being shown by the algorithm, that I would like to know who else on BookTube happens to also be reading in Dewey's. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.